Donald Trump just had a completely unhinged meltdown during a strange press event at outside the White House, supposedly with law enforcement officer. He claimed he had joined on raids targeting migrant communities and patrolling Washington D.C. Out of nowhere, Trump started rambling about grass, saying he loves grass. He is the grass man and he's going to cover all of DC in it. This from the guy who ripped up the rose garden and replaced it with a Goody Mar-a-Lago style concrete disaster. Roll the clip.
One of the things we're going to be redoing is your parks. I'm very good at grass because I have a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being, I think, anywhere in the world. And we're going to be regrassing all of your parks, all brand new sprinkler systems, the best that you can buy, just like Augusta. It'll look like Augusta. It'll look like, more importantly, Trump National Golf Club. That's even better. But we're going to have all brand new, beautiful grass. You know, like everything else, grass has a life. Do you know that? Grass has a life. You know, we have a life and grass has a life. And the grass here died about 40 years ago.
Then Donald Trump went off on a tangent about Kristi Noem praising her horse riding skill. According to him, nobody rides a horse like Kristi Noem. She is the best there is. Here's take a look at this clip.
And where's my Kristi? You're dear. Thank you very much. She's been incredible. And she can ride a horse like nobody. She gets on those horses. She rips those horses around. But I want to thank you very much. And Steve Miller,
Then he launched into a bizarre rant about wind, saying people cannot get fired by wind because that's not how wind works. What on earth is he even talking about? This is why I called it a psychotic meltdown. Here, watch this clip.
back into the grid. So all of these big factories that are being built are building their own electric plants fired by oil and gas. They're not fired by wind, by the way, because wind doesn't work, but we won't say that. It destroys everything. It looks terrible. It's a very expensive form of energy. And we're not doing wind. We're going back to fossil fuel. I hope not too many of you people are going to be upset, but we have to go back to what works. We can't be foolish.
And then Trump started fantasizing about getting endless phone calls claiming Democrats, everybody, they are calling me. People in Washington, D.C., they are sobbing, saying, Sir, thank you so much for sending in the National Guard. Sir, you saved my life. Here's watch this clip.
Actually, but we've had a great period of time, but I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C. from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. And they said, you know, what you've done it's unprecedented, because what they said, it was just unsafe. We couldn't do it. We'd go out and you'd see the stories, you'd read the stories, you'd see all of the things that are happening. And they said, we couldn't stand it, sir. And now I take my wife and my kids to dinner. One of them said he's gone out 4 nights in a row and he hadn't gone out for 4 years. So it's a great tribute to you. And when I look at you people, I understand why, because there's no games, right? We're not playing games. We're going to make it safe.
Absolutely absurd. The reality is that Washington, D.C. is completely lifeless right now. 80% of Washington, D.C. residents oppose having the military and National Guard deployed in their city. People are not going to restaurants. They are staying at home. So congratulations. Crime was already at a 30-year low and now the streets are empty because people feel their biggest threat is not criminal, but you, the National Guard, the military, the IC snatching people up and throwing them into detention camp like we have shown in the videos here on the network. In fact, 61% of DC residents saw the greatest danger to their lives is Donald Trump and his Gestapo tax. And that number keeps climbing. Yet Trump says, we are not playing games. We are going to make it safe. We are going to another place and doing this. Here's play this clip.
It's a great tribute to you. And when I look at you people, I understand why, because there's no games, right? We're not playing games. We're going to make it safe. And we're going to then go on to other places, but we're going to stay here for a while. We want to make this absolutely perfect. It's our capital.
It's fascinating that mega Republicans go from states like Mississippi, South Carolina, and Ohio, places where cities have crime rates far higher than Washington DC are sending their national guard troops to restore order in DC. Why not deploy them in their own cities if that's truly the solution? Because this is not about safety, it's a performative authoritarian stunt targeting blue states and cities. Straight out of the playbook of leaders like Putin or Kim Jong un. Then, during this bizarre press event, Trump started bragging about his meeting with world leaders, name dropping King Abdullah and King of Saudi Arabia and NATO leaders, confessing Saudi Arabia and NATO. And if they are the same thing, he claims they all agreed to contribute 2 to 5% of their GDP to defense spending, calling it trillions of dollar, trillion. Where does he get that math? For context, the UAE GDP is about 440 million and Qatar's is only 140 million. 2 to 5% of that is not anywhere near trillions. Anywhere here, play this clip.
By saying this, so I was with the King of Saudi Arabia. I was with all of the NATO leaders a couple of weeks ago, and they are putting up not 2%, but 5%. They said 5% of GDP. That's a lot of money. They'll have trillions of dollars put up. They were putting up 2, but they weren't paying it. Now they're putting up 5 and they're all paying it. And they all said the same thing. They said, 1 year ago, your country was dead. We never thought it was coming back. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
These countries are boosting their military defense to protect themselves from us. From us. Canada is trying to avoid buying F-35s and exploring alternatives. If they do purchase them, I will be out of necessity. Out of necessity, not preferences. They are strengthening defense because they worry the United States could become a threat. Japan, they are looking to Australia, not America. Australia is looking to Europe. Europe and Canada is splitting their own defense dealing, leaving the USA on sideline. Then Trump pivots is talking about his former criminal defense attorney, Ted Blanc, the same lawyer who represented him in the business record case, where Trump was found criminally liable. And in the civil fraud case, here's an important clarification that has been widely misreported. Trump lost that civil fraud case. The appellate division confirmed he committed fraud. Where they disagreed was the 500 million penalty, reducing the financial hit. But they upheld an injunction restricting his business activities. The highest court in New York still has to weigh in, but this was no victory. And yet, this is what Trump rambles about during press event with law enforcement in DC. Here's play this clip.
Todd, Todd Blanche, who's been with me so long, and he's one of the best lawyers you'll ever find. And we're having a lot of victories. I had a victory today. You know, they stole $550 million from me with a fake case. And it was overturned. They said this was a fake case. It's a terrible thing, but that's a nice victory, you know. I mean, it's not bad. You know, we all have our limits, but this was a terrible thing that done. It was a witch hunt, and I've had more witch hunts than any human being, I think, in history. And here we are with the president of the United States. So it didn't work out too well for them, but maybe now it's turned a little bit. These are very dishonest people. We have to fight. We have to win because we have to win. And you people are winners. And I just think it's such an honor to be with you. And we're going to make Washington, D.C. great again. We're making our country great again. The country is very close to being great. When they say it's the hottest country in the world, they mean it. And this capital is right now, after 4 days, 5 days, it's at a level that you haven't seen in a long time. And it's all because of you. So I want to thank you all very much.
Then Donald Trump gashes over Pam Bondi, who's busy wearing the Epson file. She's apparently doing a fantastic job. Side shielding, Trump tries to convicted sex trafficker, while Trump himself relocates Ghislaine Maxwell to a minimum security facility in Texas. Here's roll the clip.
And his wife is so incredible, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Pam, thank you very much. What a job. People don't realize, they're going to see, she'll go down as the greatest attorney general we've had. I really mean it too. And where's my Christy, you dear? Thank you very much. She's been incredible.
Then Doug Burgess chimes in with Donald, you have always supported law enforcement. Really? 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 The same guy who incited January 6th stood by while officers were insulted and enabled that violence. The same man whose pardon attorney just met with an intersection today, someone who previously called for violence against just police, yet here's Bergam saying this with a straight face. Roll the clip.
Federal folks that are there, you have always, in turn, your entire life supported law enforcement, and that makes a difference. These people know that.
Then, just before stepping out, Trump appeared on a far-right radio show, the Ted Stern show, where he said, "Give me 2 more weeks, and I will decide what I am going to do with Ukraine and Russia." Roll the clip.
Do you think we're going to be able to get peace in that region, Mr. President?
Well, I'll let you know in about, I would say within 2 weeks, we're going to know one way or the other.
Oh, really? And other 2 weeks? Last week, there was no ceasefire, no security guarantees from Putin. And that was a lie. No trilateral meeting. And Putin just launched an attack on a US-owned factory in Ukraine. So sure, do not take another 2 weeks. Then Trump shifts gear and claims he is now ended 10 war, not 7. But 10. Roll the clip.
A lot of things going. We ended 7 wars, probably more than that. You know, they wrote an article and they gave me 3 additional ones that I ended without even knowing it. But, you know, I saw things were going bad and it looked like it was going to go bad and it could have been 10. But
he is literally inventing wars out of their air. I have ended 10 wars. I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. Meanwhile, Gaza in its worst state ever. Ukraine is in chaos, all because of him. Then Trump claimed he will personally patrol DC with National Guard. Watch this.
And I'm going to be going out tonight. I'm going to keep it a secret, but I'm going to go. You're the only one that knows. You and your lots of listeners. You have a great show. You have a very successful show, by the way, in case you haven't heard that. But I'm going to be going out tonight, I think, with the police, with the military, of course. So we're going to do a job. The National Guard is great. They've done a fantastic.
No, he is not actually patrolling. He is just doing that same performative stunt I just showed up to you. Then that's turn. That's far-right radio host suggests maybe Trump will taser people or even shoot someone. Watch this.
Does the president have a gun? Are they going to let him tase somebody? I want to see my president tase somebody tonight. That's what I wanted.
That's what they actually want to see. And while all this was happening, JD, Just Dance Vance, was out there lying, claiming they are protecting healthcare for Americans by kicking out undocumented immigrants, when in reality, they are stripping healthcare from 17 million Americans. Watch this.
But we want to help the people who have the legal right to be in the United States of America. So it's not about kicking people off of healthcare. It's about kicking illegal aliens the hell out of this country so that we can preserve healthcare for the American families who need it.
And then when a reporter pressed JD Vance asking, what about congressional budget, office saying this is the biggest wealth transfer from low-income Americans to the wealthy. JD Vance brushed it off saying, I do not believe that everything fake to him. Fake data, fake news, fake everything, fake. Watch this clip.
With Atlanta News First, I know you're here to talk about business and manufacturing. I wanted to ask you about the spending bill's impact on individuals. There was a nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office report that came out last week showing that the bottom 10%, the poorest Americans, would lose about $1,200 a year on their income, while the top 10%, they would add about $13,000 annually to their income. Can you justify for those poorest Americans those differences?
Well, first of all, the Congressional Budget Office, sometimes they put out reports that are absolutely atrocious, and I think this is a good example of a very atrocious report. The most important thing for people who are living at the bottom of the income ladder is that they not pay taxes on their income sources. So if you're working hard and you're working overtime, you're going to get a big fat tax cut. If you're working at a restaurant or some other business where you're earning your wages primarily through tips, you're going to get a big fat tax cut. And most importantly, the president's economic policies are going to prevent your job from being shipped off to Asia or to Mexico. That is the very best thing for people at the bottom of the income ladder. And that's why we have the economic policies that we do.